Hi, my name is Amy Weber. I am co founder of Speak, Learn, and Play, and I am a child therapist and parent coach here in Brooklyn, New York. This month at Speak, Learn, and Play, we are talking all about expression. And today, specifically, I want to talk about something that sits at the heart of emotional development for kids, especially neurodivergent kids, and that is this idea. Expression begins with safety. Kids cannot express what they don't feel safe sharing. A lot of parenting advice jumps straight to communication strategies. How can I get my child to talk through their feelings? How do I help them explain what's wrong? But emotional expression does not start with language. It starts with safety in the nervous system. Because when kids feel safe, they open up. When they don't feel safe, they protect themselves. And that protection can look like masking, it can look like shutting down, or very commonly, it looks like exploding. So, in this webinar today, I am going to talk about why safety and connection come before communication, what expression looks like when kids don't feel safe, and how to create low pressure opportunities for expression at home. Along the way, I'll also share a simple but powerful tool, and that is name it without fixing it. So let's jump in with safety and connection comes before communication. This is the foundational idea. Emotional expression grows in relationships that feel safe. Children share what's happening inside them when their nervous system feels, I won't be judged, I won't be rushed, I won't be corrected immediately. Someone is willing to sit with me in this. For many kids, especially our neurodivergent kids, language comes after experience, not before. First comes the feeling inside the body, then awareness, and eventually words. If we push kids to talk before that process unfolds, we can accidentally create pressure. And then pressure tends to shut expression down. Think about the difference between these two moments. One says, tell me what's wrong. And the other says, I'm here if you want to tell me. One asks for a performance, the other offers permission. Kids don't open up because they're instructed to. They open up because they feel safe enough to be seen. So, what does expression look like when kids don't feel safe? When kids don't feel emotionally safe, expression does not disappear. It just changes shape. Instead of sharing their inner experience directly, kids often protect themselves in one of three ways. One is masking. Some kids learn to hide what they're feeling. They smile when they're feeling overwhelmed. They say, I'm fine when they're not. Masking is misunderstood as coping or maturity, but many times it's actually a sign that the child doesn't feel safe showing what's really happening inside. Another way that kids might show that they're not safe is withdrawal. Kids go quiet. They avoid talking about emotions. They retreat into their room, onto their phones, or into their inner world. This is not stubbornness or opposition. It's often their nervous system saying, talking about this doesn't feel safe right now. And then there's a third path, explosion. Some kids don't hide their feelings at all. They overflow with them. Big reactions, meltdowns, intense frustration. But even explosions are often a signal that the child didn't have a safe place to release smaller feelings earlier. We can think about emotions like steam in a kettle. When there is no safe vent, the pressure builds, and eventually it comes out all at once. None of these responses, masking, withdrawal, or explosion, mean that a child is bad at emotions. They usually mean that the child's nervous system is working hard to stay safe. So, how can we create low pressure opportunities for expression? If safety is the foundation, how do we build that? One of the most powerful ways is lowering the pressure around emotional expression. Kids don't always open up during direct conversations. In fact, many express themselves much more easily during side by side moments, like driving in the car, drawing together, walking the dog, building with Legos, cooking dinner. These moments feel much safer because they remove the spotlight. So instead of asking big questions like, "How are you feeling?" you might try small invitations like, "That seemed like a tough moment earlier," or "Your body looked really frustrated when that happened." We want to open the door without forcing them to walk through it. Expression grows best in spaces that feel spacious. So, that brings us to one of my very favorite emotional safety tools. Name it without fixing it. When a child is upset, our instinct as parents and as adults is often to solve the problem very, very quickly. And sometimes kids don't need that solution first. They first need to feel understood. So instead of jumping straight to advice, we need to start with reflection. For example, "That looks really frustrating," or "You seem disappointed," or "Your body looks really overwhelmed right now." We're not correcting, we're not analyzing, we're just noticing. And this does something really powerful to a child's nervous system. It sends the message, "Your feelings are allowed here." And when feelings are allowed, expression begins to grow. If there is one idea that I hope you take away today, it is this: expression begins with safety. Kids share their inner world when they trust that the adults around them can handle what they bring. Not perfectly, but calmly, curiously, and without pressure. And we create homes where feelings are named, welcomed, and held with care. Kids slowly learn something incredibly important. It's safe to be myself here and in this relationship. And from that safety, expression grows. Thank you so much for being here and for the work that you are doing to build emotional safety for the kids in your life. See you soon.